Shut my door, though.
Oh, well, as soon as Dennis figures out what he's going to do.
Good morning,
Good morning, everybody.
Happy day before Mother's Day.
Bill can't be with us today. He's getting ready to fly back home from Iowa to Virginia. So he came on and told us he wasn't going to be here. So he won't be here today, but Steve and Dennis and Jerry are here. And
if you didn't see Bill's video, go watch it about Caboose Stop Hobbies. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah, go check out his latest one. I don't think he's got another one on there since then, but it's pretty good. I even bought something after seeing it on the video. Anyway, Steve, you want to do the rundown? Or you can't see it?
I'd love to. Hi, everybody. I don't have my thing fixed yet, so I
don't have your thing fixed yet.
I could probably do it by memory.
Yeah, probably pretty close. Now we got quite a few in already. Allie's here, and Hillbilly Railroad's here. Sheep Boy's here. Rob T. Man. Dennis is here too. Lee, good to see you, Lee. DES Media. And remind me of your name again. I can't ever remember your name. Who else we got here? Oh, Brian's here.
I think it's Dave.
Yeah, Brian, we're not selling it today. I'm just mainly showing everybody what we have, and we'll start the sale next week. And it may only last 1 week. It may last 2. I don't know yet. But we'll do that here in just a little bit. John Tanzillo's here. John from Schuylkill River is here. Good to see you, John. Who else is here? Bernard's here. So there goes the neighborhood. Lehigh River Subdivision's here. Almar's here. Man, you guys have been yakking on here, haven't you? Let's see. Who else is here? I think that's everybody that's here. Oh, Roy's here. Hey, Roy, stick around. I got something to show you. And you need to buy it because I'm not going to ship it anywhere. So you got to come get it. But anyway, good to see everybody this morning. We'll wait just a little bit, let some more guys get on here before I take the camera out there, and I'll kind of show you, kind of go through some of the stuff, let you ask questions. And when I do that, you guys, Dennis and Jerry and Steve, are going to have to watch the chat for questions.
I
and
can't
relay them
watch
to me because I'm not going to be able to see it.
I'll watch it.
I promise I'll fix my tablet for next week. I promise.
So anyway, yeah, I won't be able to see the chat. So, but if anybody's got questions about anything, you guys can ask me and I can maybe answer them. I'll try to answer them. But I guess I can go ahead and start out there.
Why not?
No time like the present.
No.
Let me get this changed up here.
So have you done anything further, Dennis, on your layout?
Yes and no. There's really nothing that I've done that I could show you other than I now have 4 of my yard tracks are complete. I still have 2 more yard tracks to put in, and the rest of everything that I've done is just program the CDI for LCC. And I've got one switch, one turnout that is causing me problems, and I can't figure out why. But other than that, everything's working perfectly. The way it's designed, one push button can move up to 5 or 6 turnouts, and you don't really have to watch to see what's going on there because they all align themselves the way I designed them to.
Wow.
First thing I'm going to do is apologize for the light out here because it's not great lighting. I've got this extra light up here, but it doesn't look too bad on camera. Anyway,
Nice little layout.
Modular layout that he had built. It's all wired up for DCC. I'm assuming it's all wired up. I don't know about gaps and all that kind of stuff. It's all Kato track. But you can see it fits on this folding table. So that's the size of it. But it's a pretty nice little job done. It's all attached from underneath. The wiring is impeccable. He was an Air Force electrician, so he did a really good job with it. Anyway, this this is what I was talking about, Roy. This right here, this layout would be great for you. You put this in your truck.
Yeah, that fit in your sleeper.
He also had a Zephyr Digitrack with an extra throttle. And there's a 5 over there. And there's also one on here, I think on this back side of this, that he's got it ready to wire up to. The only thing I couldn't find, the connections he did, you can see these connections. That's one of the, right there's one of the ports. But he wired all his own cables. And of course, he did a really good job with them. I couldn't find one that goes here to the DCC, but I'm sure it would be easy enough to figure out, if you did a little looking. Anyway, the engines on here that are on the table, except for this one, are all DC, okay? Not DCC. This is a powered unit and a dummy. And I think that's lifelike. Okay. But one's powered, one's a dummy. This one, I'm not sure what this one is. Yeah, I can't see it.
Is that a Mikado?
That's a Bachmann. No, it's a consolidated. It's a 280.
Okay.
And that's a Bachmann.
Okay.
Then they've got various freight cars. Not a lot of freight cars, but we got the this little F unit is I don't know, it didn't have a name on it. They all of them run. They could be cleaned. I did test them on the track. One of them had quite a bit of like lint in the gearing, and I'm thinking if you took it loose and picked all that out, it'd probably run just fine.
Actually,
this is a light bike.
They're really easy to tear apart and
yeah, I figured they would. I just didn't do any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But this is the E unit. That's a lifelike. He had these streamlined passenger cars. They say Rock Island's the name on them. Can hardly see them. They're so small. Anyway, had that. Then he's got this set here of older heavyweights. A DC power pack. Then he's got a whole box of the Easy Mate couplers. The other engines. Now, this is a box that Shannon would probably like. This box, he was putting decoders in. I know that because he's got one brand new decoder here that's not been installed yet. But there are several engines he's got taken apart. And I couldn't tell you if the parts are relevant or not. So I say, for something like that would be somebody that wants to tinker with it. Would be the way to go.
What's the backstory on this, Claude? Because I think I missed part of this because I was gone last week. Or maybe
Roy was, and some people may have seen him. He had been coming on the show, Lazy River Junction. He was flying at the same club that I was when we were flying RC airplanes, and he was a really good builder of airplanes too. And like I say, he was ex-Air Force. And he just got to where he was, he was quite a bit older than he was. He got to where he just couldn't handle the airplanes anymore, so he quit flying, quit building airplanes. And I had already started in the trains, and so I thought that would be good. I had him as a kid, so like we all did. And he decided he wanted to do that, so when he went for something, he jumped in with both feet. And he just had a small room to do it in, so this is why he went this direction with N-scale and stuff, which really kind of small for him, but that's what he did. Oh, also on this, there's some more pieces for some more of these sections for these modules. I don't know what's in there, but I know that's what that is. This is one. This one's DCC, no sound, but DCC, a 44 tonner. He had some Arduino stuff that he was tinkering with, and of course he knows all this stuff inside and out. So he'd buy the parts. There's LEDs down in there, all the connectors for that kind of stuff. I know nothing about Arduino. These, I believe are LED. No, these are all connectors like this. Where you put your wires in, and you got the little plug-in connector. These are LEDs, and he had some really small LEDs. The wire is bigger than the LED on the end of it. And I'm not going to mess with them because they're too small for me. I don't know if you can see that'll focus, the LED on the end of those wires. But he colors on. And like I say, since he was an electrician and knew how to do that kind of stuff, he has lots of parts. So he buys parts like this, and this is the parts that go inside of them, like this. He can make all his own cables. He's got relays, whole bag full of relays here, optic fiber stuff. I'm not even sure what these are. I don't know if anybody can tell what those are. Some kind of little electronic connector. Looks like they got relays on them. I'm not sure what those are. Low level trigger. Capacitors. A bag full of capacitor. Make your own keep. This is stepper motor and driver board. Had some kits, just a few kits of buildings like that. And there's some other boxes here. And this is the bad part because he had more stuff than I had room to spread it out. You can see all this stuff, all the connectors and stuff. There's some more capacitors in there. All this electronic stuff, unless you had something specific you see in here that you're going to want, I'd like to sell it all in one piece because I keep it. I don't know what I would do with it all. But there's all kinds of stuff in here. So hang on with me just a minute. I'm going to pick some of this up and get some other stuff up here on the table. A lot of stuff. Anyway, I told his wife when she called me, I would try to sell this stuff, and because I thought, there was some good stuff in here, and I thought, somebody might want it, and we could get her for it. Lots of connections for terminal board, all that kind of stuff. Most of this stuff, make an offer on it. There's going to be very, very little of this stuff that I'm going to, say it needs to be at least this much money. These are, what I looked in that, what was that? I don't remember, something electronic, something that was over my head. But anyway, there's a whole box full of toggle switches and, terminal boards and all that kind of stuff. Then we move over here. Here's like a deal's not been opened. These are little bitty screws. Would be great for end scale. Over. Got jars of terminal strip connectors. Okay, then we get into. Hang on, so I'm gonna put this phone. Or drop it. One or the other.
Where'd you go, Claude?
I had to put the phone down. Hang on a second. Okay. Then I got stuff. I'm not sure what's in here. This may be LEDs. Oh, this is for like Arduino stuff, I believe. There's a bunch of that kind of stuff. I'd like to put all that together. Some interested in that sort of thing. There's test wires and Arduino connectors. A little miter saw that he had. Here's a router attachment for a Dremel.
Ooh, I might have to get that.
Here's an airbrush. I'm not sure how good a shape this is, but it's an older one, but it's, doesn't look like he used it. But anyway, dual action airbrush, looks like a dual action. A couple of wiring books from Model Railroader. And then we got modeling pins. If you like, especially building wood kits, these are great for that. Stuff like this, bag of people. What else we got? Miter boxes. I think that's a jig he made up for cutting stuff to length. You can adjust it, get the same length on everything. Here's a little house kit. Let's see what else we got here. Bar mills, covered stairwell pack, fencing. Some, I believe these are car kits. Yeah, caboose kits, but you'd have to build these. It's got several of those kinds. Here's a like a pickle car or something. Yeah, there we go. So picture. Benches. Another caboose kit. A box of Microtrains trucks, and I don't know if they're all in there or not. This is 10 pairs. I don't know if I used any of them out of there. Make a pyramid, and this is all going to fall down on me. End gauge, end scale track gauge. A nice ruler, steel ruler. That's a scale ruler. That's an end scale ruler. Okay, and then there's some 3D printed buildings here. We've got a couple of those. Here's some cars, vehicles, 3D printed still on the sprues. Trucks. And a razor saw, some more kits. Let's see, it's roof kits, windows and doors, I think, to scratch build with. Because scratch building an end scale is always fun.
Oh, yeah.
You can see, Bo, I'm trying to go through it pretty fast. I am not sure what this is. Oh, 4 Jeeps. 3D printed Jeeps. Some more people. These are pewter or white metal, one or two. Wagon. Barrels. I mean, there's some other little stuff in here. Brass etching sheets. And some little bitty parts. Barrels and stuff like that. Here's one of a fence. This is coming through very good, guys. Like I say, I apologize for the lighting. It's just horrible out here. Coupler gauge. A couple of helping hands. Now, these are fairly heavy, but I'm planning on shipping this stuff out priority mail. So, your cost is going to be either small flat rate box or a medium flat rate box. That way it doesn't matter too much where you're at and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be the same price. So you'll know. So whatever you can fit in one of those boxes, what your shipping price will be. Then he had some more Kato stuff. Unitrack. And I'm not real familiar with this stuff. Some of this he had, it was loose because he was obviously using it or checking it out and stuff. Got a lot of the adapter packs. I was trying to figure out what these were, but these come off of the turnouts. So it gives room for the other track on the turnouts. But it's got some number 6s here, 3 number 6s, 2 rights and a left. Got a number 4 there, another number 4 over here. Some straight sections. So 2 different radius curve sections. And these are switches I guess he used, and I'm assuming these are the extra pieces that come with them. Like I said, I don't know anything about Kato track or how it normally comes, but there's some extra pieces in this. If somebody wanted all of that together, it'd be great. This has got, I think, the ends or something in it. I'm not sure what.
Hey, Claude.
That little doohickey there, whatever that is, got a whole box of those. Yeah.
Is there any chance that you might actually produce a list? It wouldn't have to be specific to everything, but, maybe some of the bigger ticket items that we could maybe download or look at later on to kind of pick and choose before we actually begin the auction?
Well, that's kind of why I wanted to do this today. So you kind of get an idea of what's here. So when we do that, you'll have an idea what you want to bid on. Like I say, I'd like to send all the Kato track together, but if somebody needs specific parts, I guess we could do it that way.
So Claude,
yeah.
So just a message for everybody out there. This is a widow. This is her husband's collection. Be generous. Don't try to get everything for $5. Okay? Think of yourself and your own situation. You want the best for your spouse, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, this, she didn't even want any money for this. This is my idea is instead of giving it away. No. Okay.
All right.
She knows, but she didn't ask me to do it. She just wanted me to get it to somebody to use it. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm trying to do. He had this little Gandy Dancer car. Now I tried to get it to run yesterday and I couldn't. Now this is HO scale. But it probably wouldn't be too hard to get it to work. The little guys go up and down, all that good stuff. Got a re-railer, Kato re-railer I've been using to get these on. This is a BLI steam locomotive. Let me turn that on real quick.
Maybe I should get the re-railer.
That's a really nice one because it kind of snaps onto the track. I noticed that much. I don't need it. So I'm going to try and see if this thing will fire. It usually takes it a second to, like, it has to warm up or something. But anyway, it's got really nice sound. I'll do that here in a minute. This is a Mikado 282. This one is a Mogul, and it's a model power, and it is got sound to it. It doesn't sound nearly as good as the BLI, of course. But anyway, let me see if I can do this one-handed. I should have had my wife come out and help me with this.
Which was the one that you showed me that sounded so good?
It's that BLI.
Man, that thing sounds good for N scale.
I like how the bell even fades away. It doesn't just quit, it fades away. So anyway, that's that one. Now let's switch to the other. Oh, wait a minute. I need to do this. Okay, let's do this. Loco. Let's see. There we go. Okay, now I can switch to the other one here. I think, unless he put it under the number. He must have put it under the number. Okay, let's try that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, this is the model power. Well, he got the speed step way down on it. Track's probably dirty, or the wheels are probably dirty. Come on, man. That's the whistle. So you can see the difference in the sound, but of course, they're also different price at the store for that reason too. Okay, and off. Anyway, those two, he's got those two. I've got a couple of HO scale engines. One of them is this Athearn Genesis engine. I'd like to get 200 for it. I paid somewhat more than that for it, but I think it's going to be too big for my layout. If somebody was really interested, you can send me an email or something, and I can actually get it out and run it for you. But it is DCC with sound, has its own little controller, all that stuff. Even has a battery for the controller. Anyway, I just thought I'd put that out here with this. Another thing I got that I bought that I'm not going to use, and I thought Bill might be here this morning. This is actually ON30 Bachmann Spectrum Loco. It's just DC. It runs good, but obviously I'm not going to use it. I got it to put around the Christmas tree, and it's just going to be too small. But anyway, that's pretty much what we've got. If anybody's got any questions about some stuff, I can show you some more on it.
So, Claude.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell everybody what your plans are, how you're going to conduct this?
Okay.
So I'm getting questions.
Well, if we don't have any questions on stuff out here, I'm going to come back in.
How much is that? So you guys
So
pretty much saw everything. Well, we're getting questions. How much is this? How much is that?
Okay. Most everything, I think we're going to just leave it up to you guys to bid on it. And what we're going to do is give about 4 or 5 minutes for each item. That's why this may take a couple of weeks to do. But we'll let you bid on it. I'll have some people helping me that can watch the bids and that sort of thing, or watch the time. And we'll go from there. Oh, here's another one this is mine that Roy actually gave this to me because it was HO. This is DCC, but no sound.
So can you go back to the airbrush and show the airbrush? Maybe maybe show the model number.
Where did I put it?
It's under everything.
Yeah, of course it is. And I will have this spread out just probably a little bit better too next time. I just don't have a lot of room. Hang on, let me set this down. Okay.
Maybe just show the model number, and that way they can look up and see what's in the kit or something. And there's really, it's hard for you to tell what's there, what's not there.
Model number.
How about on the box or something? The front of the manual.
See,
Side of the box.
Trying to do this one-handed. I see. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe on the back. This package contains. Okay, here you go. Now, whether or not it's all here.
That's the other thing.
So
yeah.
Take that for what it's worth. And I don't know if this is the H set or the F set.
Right.
It doesn't say. So, but that's probably messing up, isn't it? You can see that okay? There we go. That's why I was showing you what was in the box, because that's easier to see. You can actually see what's in here. It's got a couple of wrenches. It looks like it's mostly all here. I don't know what went here. But it looks like it's all here, or at least mostly here. Tips. Okay. So that's one of the things we'll do when we put something up like this. We'll I kind of go through it or something and show what's in it. But anyway, if if you wanted the Arduino stuff, I'd love it if you just took all of it, and I'd pick through it as much as I could to get all that together. But there's a lot of stuff here, a lot of electronic stuff, mainly electronic stuff. There's all the small stuff. He had I almost forgot that somebody may want these. These are clamps, building. And these are, the rubber bands have disintegrated, but these are the kind of clamps you put a rubber band around and they'll hold together. I got a box of those. They don't weigh very much, but they're all plastic. But anyway, that's kind of what he's got. And I hate to throw stuff in the trash. I don't know where else I'll take it if everybody doesn't take it here. And like I say, I'm gonna let you guys figure price on most of this. I think the BLI engine probably needs to be, $50 at least start with, and maybe 20 or 25 on the model power. Just to give you a starting those. The other stuff. I'm sorry, trying to walk and do all this at the same time. It's not good. I can't chew gum and walk at the same time. So, okay. Oh. Anyway, you can kind of see what's kind of a mess, and well, it's kind of a mess for me because I don't have the room to spread it out like I'd like to. But there again, all the money goes to her, obviously, except for the one Loco that I'm going to sell. But the rest of it's going to go to her. So whatever we can pull up, will definitely be going right to her. Why is this doing this?
When do we plan on doing this, Claude?
I'm going to start it next week.
As Bill would say, that's a lot of stuff.
He's got an in-scale hobby store there, pretty much.
Yeah.
If you wanted to open up an in-scale hobby store, you've got one already.
Well, like I said, he made all his own cables, all that stuff. He was in the process of putting decoders in that box of engines that was all torn apart. I can't vouch for what parts go with what, but I know there's at least one new decoder in there because I saw it. It's an in-scale decoder, sound decoder that he was going to put in one of them. It's I think an 8-pin or whatever. It's what it looked like it had. I didn't pull the thing off to look at the pins, but you know, that kind of stuff, unless you're, you know, do that sort of thing, and its end scale is way too small for me. Plus, I'm not got any place to put it all.
Right.
So if I had a place to put the little layout, I'd keep that, you know, and an engine or two and a train and you know, but I don't have any place to put it. So I'd like to, you know, get rid of it. But anyway, next week we'll do this. So if you saw stuff you like, be here next week.
Yep.
And
Be here next week.
How are you going to go about, I guess, moderating the auction itself? How are you? What's the plan there?
Well, I'm going to have my wife and probably my daughter come too, and help me kind of keep track of it. Watch the bids on there, because what we're going to do, we're not going to do the first one to type in. I don't think that's fair to everybody, because if you got a slow connection, you're always going to be left out. And so what we're going to try and do, yes, Norman, same time next week, 10 o'clock Eastern.
Set your time. Set your alarms.
And we'll go. We may run over a little bit. I'll try to keep it within the hour. And if we have to go more than 1 week, we'll do that. But I'd like to get, you know, sell most of it, get it to people that'll use it. And hopefully, I'm really hoping somebody's out there really handy with electronics and wants all that stuff, because there's a lot of good stuff and it's all brand new. Or almost
So
brand new.
Roy has a question. He wants to know, can you commit to buying some stuff before the auction?
Well,
It's up to you, Claude. You decide.
I really hate to do that, because there again, it's, you know, it's not really fair to anybody that's not that's going to be here next week that's not here today.
It's not. And here's the thing, right? I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to keep saying it. Don't try to get this stuff for $10. You know, obviously anything is a plus for this woman, but be fair to her and be fair to everybody. You know, be fair to yourself, be fair to her mostly. So, you know.
Well, her biggest thing was, Roy was like me. He wanted to go to somebody that would use it. And she wasn't worried about getting money for it, although I think, you know, it's worth some money. So that's why I'm doing this. Otherwise, I was thinking about doing it on eBay, and I thought, you know, by the time you pay all the fees and all that mess and all the time it takes to do that, I'd rather do it to this community. If you guys would like it, I'd rather get it to you guys. So
now, Claude, are you going to do during that time frame, just everybody gets just one bid, right?
No, what we'll do is we'll have it open for 4 or 5 minutes, and you guys can bid on it. And we may do more than one thing at a time during that span. And then, you know, I'll have my daughter or my wife, somebody watching the time on it, keeping the time on it. And then we'll do it that way. Because not everybody's going to want everything on there. I mean, I know that there's going to be some stuff that nobody's going to want, you know, I understand that too. But I try to make it fair for everybody in chat, because I know there's a delay, you know, involved in that. And there again, if you don't have a great internet where you're at, you may be slower getting in than somebody else would be. And so just to try and make it fair, let everybody go in. I don't want to hold it to one, because if somebody bids something and somebody else comes in behind them and bids higher, then they're out. They wouldn't get to rebid, see. So I'd rather have it just like a regular auction kind of thing, but we're not going to hold it open for the whole show. It's only going to be, each thing's only going to be for a few minutes.
So, you can't prolong this to like.
Yeah, I don't want it to take forever. I just want to, but I want everybody to have a good shot at getting whatever they want out of it. And, you know, the Cowboy track, we could sell it all individual. I mean, if somebody wants
you
the
could have
whole
a
thing,
set price, Claude. You could have a set price in, you know, for each item, and then let everybody bid on it, and the highest person over that price that you have gets it.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Yeah, well, it'd be the same thing with them, just, bidding on it. If somebody wanted one thing and they bid $1, next person going to come in and bid $1. I'm not going to set high prices on everything. Like I say, that BLI engine is probably the nicest thing in there. And the Cotto track, I don't know what Cotto track goes
worth
for.
a lot of money. It's not,
Yeah.
Even if Cotto track if there were $400 worth of Cotto track there, even if you got it for $150, $200, you're still getting a good deal.
Oh yeah.
Right.
But there again, I'm not going to go through all the research of finding out what everything costs.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not trying to put a lot of time in this. I mean, I was busy all week trying to get this garage sale ready to go and stuff like that. And then getting this stuff just put in some kind of shape together. And still, as you saw, it was kind of messy still. So, but I was trying to spread stuff out. I finally got the little sectional layout set up so you can see that.
Allie,
that's one thing I'm not going to ship. It doesn't weigh very much, but it's big. It would take a big box. And
Allie has a question. Allie has a question. She says, why not use eBay and throw up the links? I think because Claude doesn't want to invest a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time to do that much stuff. I've done that before.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, I've done that before, but I don't care to do that.
Well, then eBay
gets a lot of money out of it. eBay gets a lot of money out of it, and you got to pay sales tax on it.
Yeah.
So you're going to save money by doing it this way. This is, I think, the cheapest way to do it. Now, what I will do is I'll give everybody my eBay address, and if you win an item, you're going to pay on PayPal. You don't have to have a PayPal account. You can go to PayPal Me, or it's a PayPal Me. I'll give you the link, but you can go on there and you just send the money that way. Okay, there's a button in there to send it, and you can send it that way. And that way, I can keep all that together, and we're not trying to deal with checks or cash or any of that mess. So you just go on PayPal and do it that way. You can use a credit card on there, whatever you want to do. So we'll do it that way, and then I can get her the money that way. I'm trying to think of anything else that might be involved. Like I say, shipping, I've already got some of the boxes. Funny story, I ordered 25 of the small boxes. These are the flat rate priority mail boxes, and the guy brought me 125 of the medium boxes. No small boxes. So, but anyway, I got those back, and they brought me the small boxes, and I've got a few of the big boxes for anybody that orders a lot of stuff. And if somebody needs a bigger box than that, we'll take care of it. But that way, you'll know what the price is going to be. You can go on USPS website, and you can see what the priority mail boxes cost to ship, and that will be your shipping price.
They've gone
so whatever you bid
up
plus the shipping price.
The priority boxes have gone up a lot.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it was. I want to say they're like $8 or something like that.
Well, the small box is 9 something, almost 10, okay. And then they run up to, they're like $16 and $20 now.
Well, I don't know what. I haven't shipped the medium one in a long time, but I got some of those in case somebody bought a lot of stuff. We can put it in one box. It'll be cheaper than putting it in several small ones. Because they're flat rates, so I don't have to worry about where you're at, any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've had some people beat me up about selling some of the stuff I've got about the shipping costs. And it's like, you haven't looked at shipping lately, have you?
But I'm sure shipping something to the UK will be more.
Yes. If you're not in the States, it's going to be more, and I'll have to figure out what it's going to be. And we'll take care of that at that time. And see if you're willing to take it.
But I don't want international shipping is a lot.
Yeah, it is. And shipping real big stuff is a lot. That's why, like Roy just said on there, I don't want to ship that modular layout. I'd almost prefer to take all the track off of it and sell it that way if nobody wants the modular, and Roy's the only one I can think of that would, be able to come by here and get it. It doesn't weigh a lot, but it's bulky. And so that's.
So here's the thing. Roy said that you won't ship it. So, Roy, contact Claude with an offer and go from there. I guess.
Yeah, Roy.
Yeah, don't
I had you completely in mind when I set it up. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered putting it together. And it all clicks together with the track. He's impeccable wiring underneath it. The only thing that I can tell that you're going to have to do is get your connection to the one port I showed you, or change the port. You can change the port yourself and either hook your DC power pack up to it or DCC. Now, I'm not sure if you hook DCC to it, it probably should be okay because it's just a loop of track. I mean, there's no reversing section, nothing like that on it. So it should work fine either way.
So Fred had a suggestion. Maybe you could put it down below.
Can do a sign locks people that way are willing to pay, but it goes to the highest bid. This way people are looking what they think it's worth, not the lowest price.
Yeah, I don't know how you would do it.
Well, the problem with that is that, I mean, yeah, there's lots of ways to make better money off of it, but that's not the point. The point is to get it in the hands of people that are going to use it and want it.
Well, we don't want to make it harder on you, Claude.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not making anything out of this. I mean, I got some of the stuff out of his stuff. I took some of that stuff myself, and that's my payment for doing all this. But, you know, all the tools and you know, he had a bunch of tools and stuff like that, that I ended up taking up to the RC club, and they're selling it to their guys because I had all that stuff. I didn't need it all. So I took a ton of stuff up there because he still had a lot of airplane stuff. One of the things that I kept were pieces of wood, short pieces of wood. He had a whole bunch of them because he was also a woodworker, and he had a whole bunch of them. Well, I still got to do valances and stuff on my layout. So I kept all that, you know. So to me, that's a big deal, but nobody's going to want to buy those little short pieces anyway. So that's one of the things I kept for my payment for doing this, but I'm doing it because I was really good friends with him. You know, I was always kidding her about leaving him and running away with me. And she's old. She's a lot older than I am. So it was always a joke, but you know, they were that close to me. They were really good people. Anyway, that's kind of how we're going to do it. And hopefully it'll go better. We may learn some stuff next week and change it for the week after or something, but I won't have everything. I don't know that we'll try to go through everything next week. In fact, I'm sure we won't. I may start with the bigger stuff and do that. And so if you're wanting like the BLI engine or some of the more expensive stuff that you think will be more expensive, be here next week because we'll start with some of that stuff. And, you know, we can even take some suggestions if there's, you know, I may ask, what do you want to see next? Do it that way, something like that.
What about putting a link up to the show ahead of time that people can share the link to others and get a bunch of people on here?
Yeah, I can, well, yeah, I don't think there's a limit to how early we can put the show up.
No, you could do it. You could do it weeks ahead.
Yeah.
So
I think I can do that. I think I can go ahead and do that. In fact, I could put it up today.
Yeah, you could set it up.
Be there. And so, yeah, if you've got friends that don't normally come to the show, you know, you can let them know if you want to, or you may not want to. So you're not competing with them, but
yeah.
But you know, I know most of it's N scale stuff, the vast majority, but then the electrical stuff goes both ways, and there are a couple of HO items in there. You know, I threw that one in there for me, but not everybody's going to want something like that. You know, I'd like to keep that big engine because it's a really nice looking engine and it sounds good and stuff, but it's just a little bit big for my layout. So
is that straight HO?
It was it's HO scale. And it's a Challenger. It's articulated, obviously, but it's a long engine.
Yeah.
And of course, then it's got the Caterpillar tender with it.
It's a beauty.
So you have to have fairly good radius curves to be able to run it.
What was the road name on it again?
Say again?
What was the road name on it again?
Rio Grande.
Rio Grande. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. I would love to be able to run that on my railroad, but I just don't think it will.
Yeah, it's a beautiful engine.
You could just set up a straight length and just run it back and forth.
I was real tempted yesterday to put it on that piece of sectional I got there and play with it. I have had it on my layout. But and if somebody's interested in that, we don't have to sell it on here. You can send me an email or something, and we can do it that way. Or
Well,
I
Shannon
just know
had
I'm not going to keep it, so it's going to be sold one way or another.
one of the locomotives that I shipped to Shannon last year was, I think it was a Challenger that had the centipede tender, and it ran pretty good on the tight radiuses here. So
Yeah, but that's N scale too.
that's what
And
I thought.
what make is that? Atherin Genesis?
Yeah, Atherin Genesis.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a good quality locomotive.
Yeah, I think they sold new for almost 400. I didn't pay that for it. I wouldn't have paid that for it, but
You don't have to say anything.
somebody was selling it on eBay at a pretty decent price, and I bought it. But
yeah.
That would be at least 200, and if you want to bid over that, then that's fine. But
and you already discovered that it would not take the radiuses on your layout?
no, it's not so much that. It's just the clearances on some of the stuff. Like, I don't know that it would go past that icing platform. Now, diesels will go by there, and I've got older diesel, the early diesels. So I've got a lot of those, and they will all go by there. I don't know if this would or not. It looks so big, it's because it's so much bigger than the F units that I've got. So even the PA unit looks small next to it. It was a big engine. I may get it up on the layout this week and see, but I don't know that it will really look good on my layout. That's the only thing. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do next week. Hopefully get all this stuff done and get you guys some stuff if you want it.
Cool.
So anyway, so what are you guys doing? You see what I've been doing.
Staying away. I was just sitting here. I was just sitting here thinking that I was running the line for my lubricator, and I just had this like, oh crap moment. Well, I put the connections in, and I didn't put the check valve in. That was kind of dumb.
So now what do you got to do? Take it apart?
Yeah,
well,
take it apart and put the check valve in it.
It's like shit. I was just sitting here thinking about it. I sealed the threads on it too. It's like I got to take it apart now because I didn't put the check valve in there. But yeah, I've got a mess here. I've got the tender all torn apart because I'm redoing the water lines on it. And I ran into a, well, hang on a second, let me get this out. Because I got to take this apart before it dries. That sucks. That was really dumb. But yeah, I've got a guy that was going to machine my trucks. And he got buried in finishing his Pacific for the Triennial and outsourced it to another guy, which actually turned out to be a better deal because he's working on them right now, and he should have them done here in another few weeks. And he's going to get them all primed up and ready to go. So, God dang it, that was really dumb. But yeah, I had to reorder some parts because I neglected some things and wasn't thinking some stuff through. Once you start getting things in here and start fitting them in, it's like, oh, that's not going to work. So I had to run up another order yesterday of more parts to get this thing done. But
Heath wants to know what scale that is.
It's inch and a half scale.
Is that 7 1/4?
7 1/4. Yeah, it runs on 7 1/4 inch gauge track, and it's inch and a half scale to the foot.
It is 7 1/4 scale?
No, it's 7.
I mean,
it's 7 1/2.
7 1/2. That's what I thought.
Yeah, they only do 7 1/4 on the some places on the East Coast, which is it's kind of odd. It's kind of weird that hobby has two different scales, and you're really kind of screwed if you're in the area that runs two different gauges. because if you belong to a track, so some guys actually have their equipment set up that they can adjust the gauges on their equipment. They just got little set screws that they can get up underneath there and re-gauge the wheels to whatever track they're running on. But yeah, so I'm getting close to. Well, now I won't say close. Getting all this stuff doing on this thing is just like I was telling Claude. It's just like it's a nightmare.
Time it turns around, there's something else that's got to put on it.
Yeah. Well, here I can. Let me flip this phone around. I'll show you something. Oh, gosh. Because we got a few more minutes, right? Uh-oh. It'd be nice if they did this like StreamYard.
You turn the camera off, man.
I did.
There you go.
Okay.
Settings.
There we go. Camera. Back camera. Jeez. This is a pain. There we go. Okay. So I've got the valve covers off the steam shaft, and but this is my spaghetti mess. Let me move this thing around. But yeah, I got the tender all tore apart on the underside.
Oh, wow, you do have it all tore apart.
Well, I've got to put the trucks on it anyway, so I'm redoing water lines on here with a smaller tube. But these are my globe valves off the manifold. They're just set in there, but I've got adapters I've got to get to run the. We were talking about that before the show, that the manifold is 1/8 inch pipe and the globe valves are 5/16 27. So I've got to get some adapters for that. Some adapter bushings. But this cab is going to get really small by the time I start running the plumbing of this thing. You can kind of get an idea of the math that I am. So getting this thing done in the next month is probably unlikely because I just got craps everywhere. But yeah, I've got to run those check valves. That was really dumb. That was really stupid.
Well, we'll agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So what were you going to say a minute ago, Dennis?
Well, I was just going to share a couple of purchases that I picked up. Nothing big. I got this, which I think the original price, I can't remember, but I got it for just under $50. And it's used, of course.
Has that got a pit with it?
Do what?
That's just the turntable. It doesn't have the pit.
No, it does not have a pit, which I figure really my idea with all of this is, can I actually scratch build my own device based on what's in here? That's kind of a thought that I have, is maybe instead of actually making use of the castings, can I create this out of plastic and skin on the plastic to a solid chunk of wood that's the correct dimensions? That's kind of what I'm thinking. Haven't completely decided on that, but
what's the span on that?
It's a 90-foot turntable.
Oh, it's a 90-foot. Okay.
Yeah, which I think will work with a K37.
Because I've got a Master Models 50-foot wrought iron, and it's got the pit with it that I'd sell you at a decent price.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely maybe think about that.
I'll get it out and
show
it to you.
Up this, which again, I couldn't find any of the eBay auctions on this particular item here. Usually it's going for like, I've seen it up to $200, which to me is crazy.
For that brand, yeah.
Originally sold for $9. But I picked this up for under $100, but you can't really tell what you're getting because you only get this one little picture at best on eBay. And then after I've taken a look at it, I'm like, well, that really doesn't fit what I'm looking for the town of Basalt, which is the whole idea for this 2-stall engine house.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I'm probably going to take the dimensions of this and see if I can't scratch build something that's close to this, but not actually this. And then I don't know whether I'll build this or not. I may resell this at some point in the future. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
But that's all I was going to share.
That's our hour, guys. And Jerry's been working on something too. I saw your video. You're playing in the plaster.
Yeah, last Saturday, Rick Bailey and myself started working on the coffee table layout again. Yeah, I have a live video of it. It's 2 hours. Can just fast forward through it.
That's a nice little layout, Jerry.
They're like a couple little kids playing in the mud.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. I mean, Rick was messier than I was, but yeah, it was something that I never did before. So it was different. It was
Well, like
cool.
I say, you jump in and you don't be afraid to try something. And
No.
It's really not that hard to do.
Yeah, we tried a couple different methods of forming these mountains and stuff, and from what we used, I came to conclusions what I like and what I didn't like.
Now, I couldn't really tell by looking. Is that just a figure 8? Is that what's the track plan on the board? Is it just a figure 8?
Well, basically, but there's like a lower section that comes up and goes into an 8. I really don't know. Yeah, basically, but it's not a total figure 8. There's outside that comes up.
There's an outside loop that.
Yeah, but it's all connected together, so it's not like it's all separate.
I think everybody that's tried to come up with a small N-scale layout that's not a figure 8 always comes up with the same track plan, because I did the same thing.
Yeah,
There's only so much you can do in that.
Yeah, in that space.
Yeah.
You're trying to pack in a bunch of stuff, and I think it'll look cool once it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys go over and look at that. See his video on that. It was fun watching him.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun doing it for me.
Oh yes, and Brian had something that reminded me. That's going to be next Friday, right? That's next Friday night on Vinny's channel, and we're going to build the diner kit, the 3D printed diner kit that Brian made, and so you guys come join us Friday night for that. And I still didn't get it, Brian. It didn't come. It was supposed to come yesterday, and it's the alternate mailman on Fridays, and he didn't leave it. So I'm sure it'll be here today. But anyway, yeah, come see us Friday night on that on Vinny's channel. And we're over our hour, guys. So we're gonna slide off of here. Thanks for joining us. And remember, next week we're gonna start the sale.
See you guys.
I'll have a little more detail for you at that time before we start. But anyway, we'll see you next week.
See you guys.
Have a good weekend.